Today, Today I'm going to read The Hero Two Doors Down, Chapter 6. The very next day, I got into my first fist fight. It was a warm June afternoon. The Dodgers had an off day, but were starting a seventh-day homestretch. After school, Sina and I rode our bikes to the schoolyard. I brought my new mitt along in case there was a game going on. Well, when we arrived, kids were just taking to the field for a game of softball. "Hey, can we play?" Sina yelled as we ran over to join them. Sina and I walked half the size of most of the kids, but were eager to play. We were half the size, excuse me. Sina was a better hitter than me, but I was pretty good at fielding. "We could use you in the right field," one of the boys told us. I hated the outfield, so I started to argue, though I held my feelings back because of my talk with Jackie about self-control. The outfield reminded me of pictures I'd seen of small African boys left to herd goats in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I wanted to be in the infield where all the action was. Reluctantly, I grabbed my glove off the handlebars and ran to my position in right field. It took several long innings before we saw any action beyond second base. Boredom had set in. I considered sitting down on the grass in protest when the next batter slammed the ball high and long. I perked up. The ball was heading towards right field. It was coming straight at me. It was my time to shine, to prove to these 4th and 5th graders that I was as good as them. I got into position, planted my feet firmly for the catch, and looked up at my gloved hand. The glove was way too big on me. It was intended for a grown man and for a hard ball. Too late, I thought. It had worked for Jackie. I reached into the air as the ball began to drop. "You need help, Steve?" Sina yelled. "I got it," I called out without taking my eyes off the rapidly descending ball. My heart pumped faster and faster. Salty sweat stung my eyes. I figured the batter was touching first base and heading toward second. "You won't get far," I muttered to myself as I built confidence. The ball was within inches of my hand when I was attacked by a bee. It stung my calf and sent shooting pains up my leg. I tumbled to the ground in agony. The ball also thumped to the ground. Sina raced over, grabbed the ball, and threw it to the pitcher while I wiped tears off my cheeks. It was too late. The error let 2 runs in. Several boys on our team ran over to me. I thought they were coming to make sure I was all right. When the first boy yelled, "Sissy," I flinched. Another flung a bigger insult. "Go home to your mother." I was roaring mad. I jumped up from the ground, forgetting the painful sting, and got in their faces. "How dare you," I hissed. "Get stung by a bee and let's see how brave you are." One of the boys laughed at me. "Stung by a bee? Yeah, right," he spat, and bent down to pick up my cherished glove. "And take this wreck of a mitt with you," he shouted. "Jackie Robinson gave me that mitt," I shot back. All 3 boys laughed. "Liar! Jackie Robinson didn't give you anything." "Jackie's fat," one of the boys shouted. "Yeah, he can't even steal a base this year," another boy challenged. Now I was really, really mad. It was okay if the boys were making fun of me, but not Jackie. "He's the best player in baseball," I shouted back at them. Sina grabbed my arm. "Let's get out of here," she whispered to me. I pulled my arm away and jammed it into the belly of one of my attackers instead of retreating. The boy punched me hard in the gut. I dove into the 2 other boys. Sina screamed so loud she made my ears pop. My head whipped around. "Run!" she yelled. This time I listened. Sina and I took off at top speed and didn't look back. We reached our bikes, hopped on them, and paddled away like we were being chased by a pack of dogs. After a few minutes of heavy riding, we looked back. Nobody was after us. The game had resumed and we were forgotten. Sina glared at me. "Are you crazy?" she yelled at me. "Don't ever start a fight you can't finish. Those boys outnumbered us by a dozen, and they were twice our size. What were you thinking?" "Well," I stammered, "they had no right to talking bad about Jackie. He's lost weight and's hitting again. He'll show them. He'll show everybody," I shouted back. I raced home, leaving Sina behind me. I left my bike at the bottom of our front stoop and folded my frustrated frame on the top step. Mom stuck her head out from behind the front door. "Glad you're home. Did you play ball?" "Sort of," I grunted. "Stephen, please look at me when I'm talking to you." "Yes, Mom," I said, standing up so we could face each other. Mom looked me up and down. I hoped she couldn't see signs of war. The dirty shirt, a ripped pocket, a bruised and sad face. "Please come inside, Stephen. A hot shower will do wonders. You'll see," Mom said. "Just a few more minutes, okay, Ma?" 10 minutes, Stephen. My mother closed the door, and I sat back down with a loud sigh. Finally, I was about to head inside when I spotted Jackie Robinson coming up the street with groceries. "Hi, Jackie," I called out and dashed down the steps. "Can I help?" "I got it, Steve," Jackie replied, pushing past me and heading up his steps. He reached the top step and turned around to me. "Back in a few," he told me. "Wait on the stoop." "You bet," I replied, and grinned for the first time all day. I settled on the steps to Jackie's house, wondering if I should tell him about the fight. He wasn't inside more than 10 minutes before reappearing with empty hands. "Take a walk with me, Steve," Jackie suggested. I turned and looked towards my house. My mother would be hopping mad if I left the area without getting her okay. "Don't worry," Jackie said as he patted me on the back. "Rachel telephoned your mom. We have her permission. I want to see your school." "My school?" I thought, horrified. "I can't face those boys again." I swallowed the lump in my throat. Did he know? "My school's closed," I mumbled. "Doesn't matter," Jackie said. "Let's go." We walked slowly, without words, for the first few minutes. "Anything on your mind?" Jackie asked me. I covered my mouth with my hands and coughed. "Maybe," I replied. "Want to talk about it?" There are some boys at the schoolyard who aren't very nice," I said. "Tell me more," he pressed. I stopped walking and faced Jackie. "You know, don't you?" "Sort of," he replied. "Cena's mother called your mom, who told Rachel, well, you understand." "But I'd like to hear the story from you," Jackie said. "Got into a fight," I admitted. Then I gave Jackie the blow-by-blow. "You're not a sissy, Steve," Jackie said flat out. "But there are better ways to fight back, especially when you're outnumbered and much younger. Can you think of a better way to handle a verbal attack?" "I'm not strong like you, Jackie," I protested. "Yes, you are, Steve. Every situation is different, but in general, punching someone who has verbally attacked you will only make things worse. The bee sting was unfortunate and bad timing, but it wasn't your fault. Your attackers were looking for a fight. If you can, take the high road next time. You miss the ball. It happens. You strike out. The important thing is to get back up and do your best. And as for the glove," Jackie chuckled, "that was my mistake, to give you a mitt intended for a man twice your size. Sorry about that. I meant for you to keep it safely in your room. Maybe show it to your friends, but it's not for you to play with now. Besides, it's meant for baseball, not softball." I laughed so hard that all the tension left my body. "You're right about that," I said. "But, Jackie, those boys had no right talking bad about you." "I can handle it, Steve. Please don't try to defend me. I've heard a lot worse. Besides, I did come back to work overweight. It's up to me to get back to my playing shape. I'm almost there," Jackie said. "So, shall we pay those boys a visit?" "You mean go over to the schoolyard?" I asked. "That's right," Jackie replied. "Wow, you mean you and me?" Our slow walk up Tilden Avenue was interrupted every couple of feet by autograph seekers. Jackie was patient and polite to all the kids. I stood 4 feet 2 inches, but I grew taller with each step. By the time we reached school, I felt 10 feet tall. The softball game was breaking up as we approached the field. The kids who'd been mean to me an hour ago now stood silently. When the shock wore off, they flocked around Jackie. I stepped back, but Jackie grabbed my arm and pulled me to his side. We were a pair. I beamed up at him. We were friends. As the realization sank in, I relaxed. That's it, I thought. Jackie Robinson has become my friend. Jackie's face eased into his signature broad, warm smile. "I was hanging out with my friend Steve, and he suggested that I come by and meet you all," Jackie told the kids. "Really?" one of the boys asked. "We didn't mean to chase Steve away," another said, and several chimed in. "You don't look fat, Jackie," a chubby boy suggested. "Shut up," one of the big boys warned. "No need for that," Jackie chastised the boy. "He's right. For the first half of the season I was overweight. It affected my playing. I'm known for my speed on the base path and for stealing bases. It's hard to be daring and fast when you're out of shape. My weight's almost back where I need to be." "Gee, Steve, thanks for bringing Jackie to meet us," one of the girls said. "We always hear you talking about Jackie Robinson, but nobody believed you really knew him." "Yeah, we just thought you were lying," another boy said. All I could do was smile. "Will you sign my cap, Jackie?" someone asked. Got a pen? Within seconds, boys and girls were lining up to have something signed by Jackie. A couple of kids even had me sign my name. I couldn't believe how proud I felt. I don't get to play much softball, Jackie told the kids after he'd finished signing, but I'd be happy to show you some skills that don't involve a ball. The requests came in as if they were fast pitches, and Jackie fielded them like the pro he was. Can you teach us how to steal a base? One of the girls asked. My name's Sam, a boy said, stepping forward to shake Jackie's hand. I'm pigeon-toed, too. I want to be able to run as fast as you. Sam, if you really want to run faster, join the track team and work hard. You'll be fine. Could you show us how to slide into a base and not get caught? Another asked. I'll show you some moves, Jackie promised. But keep in mind that stealing bases takes daring and patience at the same time. You must study the pitcher and run at the right moment. There's risk, for sure. If you get picked off, let it go and don't be afraid to try again. Hey, Jackie, one kid yelled, I know you're from Pasadena, so will you go home after the season? Not sure, Jackie replied. California will always be home, but I think it's time to set down some roots on the East Coast. Now enough talk, let's play ball. Jackie joined us on the field and took us through base running techniques until we could all slide into home plate like him. It was so much fun. Everyone groaned when Jackie called timeout. Game day tomorrow, Jackie said. Who are you playing? Someone asked. Cincinnati Reds, Jackie told them. Good luck beating the Reds, the kids shouted as we made our way back down Tilden Avenue. Steve, how'd you like to invite your entire class to a Dodgers game? Would I ever? My birthday's on the 19th, I reminded Jackie. Great. How about you celebrate your birthday with your class on June 24th? Right before school lets out for the summer, the Dodgers have a doubleheader against Pittsburgh. I'll get a batch of tickets to the first game. It's in the afternoon. How many kids are in your class? Maybe 25, I replied. Is that too many tickets? I'll get enough so parents and teachers can come. Do you think Miss Malikan will come along? Are you kidding? She's a huge fan. You can ride over early with Rachel, Jackie, and me. We'll leave the tickets at wheel call. I'll have the Dodgers office contact Miss Malikan to make all the arrangements and ask Rachel to call your mother. And, Steve, you can either stay with Rachel or join your classmates for the game, okay? I couldn't believe my ears. Okay, I repeated. It's the best news ever.